Hi everyone, and welcome to my review of the Hidizs MS2. Well, I apologize for having taken so long. I've actually had this IEM for about 2 months, but other things just got in the way, and people were wanting other reviews or talking about other IEMs, and well, that's it. Basically, this one got put back. Here's a package. I'm just going to run through it quickly. It comes in a very nice box. The IEMs sit over there, and then inside we have tips, one or more wide bore, so treble enhancement I would say, and the other ones are slightly closed bore, so bass enhancement. Brings a very nice cable. I mean, the cable is actually a very nice cable, nice quality, good. Let's see if this thing focuses. It's not feeling like focusing. Come on. Hello. Focus. Today would be nice. Oh, there you go. Nice terminations. Like I said, nice cable. Really nice quality. Only, let's say, negative is the terminals, which are these TFC styled, plastic things. Anyway, this is that there. Okay, besides this, it brings probably the nicest case I've ever seen up to date. Very nice plastic or hard plastic with some aluminum, very nice, smooth. I mean, it is really very premium looking, especially when you take into consideration this is something which costs $89, give or take. That's pretty nice. There we go. Okay. And these are the IEMs themselves. They're available in several colors. I got these transparent red ones. I just think they look awesome. They look really nice. I'm using the standard bass enhancement tips, let's put it that way, and I'm using an XI NHS cable, sorry, a hi-fi here cable, because I wanted something a little bit more premium looking to match the IEMs. What can I say about the MS2s? Excellent tuning and sound. Very coherent across and balanced across all the ranges. Nothing really to point out as a negative. Like I mentioned, the cable that it brings with and the case are very high quality, and overall the sound is just a very detailed, analytical sound in every one of the ranges. Which is something which is quite of an achievement, and when I say that the tuning is excellent and the sound is excellent, it's precisely because when we're talking about a 2-driver configuration where we have to mix and match these 2 drivers to find the balance of everything, it's not an easy job to do, and in that aspect I think Hidizs and its engineers have done a perfect job. As I mentioned, this is priced at around $89. It's made up of a 10.2 millimeter dynamic driver, which is the latest version of what the Hidizs calls their macromolecular compound diaphragm. It's a 2-coil, 2-chamber. I mean, I've got no idea what that macromolecular diaphragm will be, but anyway, it is what it is. And the BA being used is a Knowles RAD 33518. So I don't think anything was left at chance in terms of making sure that they're using a high quality, products or materials. Even the shell is a nice, very high quality resin, German resin shell. So you pick them up, and although they're light, you pick them up and you start looking at the fit and the finish of everything, and you see that you're in the presence of a high quality product. That's a no-brainer there. This is not a cheap IEM, let's put it that way. Just a quick through by of the specs. So sensitivity is 112 dBs. Some literature mentions 118. One thing's for sure, they play plenty loud, and with just your phone they'll be fine. Although obviously they do scale much better and they do perform much better with a DAC or a DAP or whatever extra little bit of power that you can give them. 18 ohms, 2 pin, 0.78 millimeter pin, and like I mentioned, the accessories that come with it are very nice. There's really nothing to point as a negative. Fit is perfect. The shape is all very round. Let me try and focus this a little bit closer. As you can see, everything is very round, so the fit it almost has this custom semi-custom shape to it. It's very nice. The fitment, in my ears at least, I've got no complaints, and like I say, I mean, once again, I was trying to see if you could actually focus this a little bit better, but not being very lucky here today. The faceplate, everything it's really very tastefully done, and even the faceplate, you can see it's like a roundish, and this all just gives a very comfortable, non-fatiguing fit of the IEM. As for the sound, which is what we all want to know, well, I would say it's like I mentioned, it's a very balanced profile. I would call it a bright neutral with a slightly boost on the bass. The mids are very smooth. The bass is fast, well textured. It's got a bit more of mid-bass focus. The decay is very good, so like I said, it's very fast. However, being a fast bass, sometimes it's and the fact that it is more mid-bass focused, so fast and more mid-bass focused, sometimes it lacks that little bit of extra warmth and might come across as being too dry. Excuse me, and then that dryness pushes itself forward into the mids. But it's only in certain occasions and with certain songs. Overall, the bass is perfect. The mids, that's where this whole balance of the two drivers lays, and it's a fine balance between presence. You don't want them to be too up front or too laid back. The mid-high exposure, so the mid-high reach the high, that has to be done well. Clarity has got to be good. And its analytical ability, overall timbre and warmth. So all of these things are what make or break the mids. So it's quite a few things that you need to get right. And like I mentioned, they've done a good job. The lows are in they're just the right amount of warmth and speed to give the mids the right amount of warmth that they also require. So that was very nicely done, and which basically translates to there being really no sibilance in the high mids. It's very tastefully done. And then the transition between the high mids and the highs was so well done and so smooth that there's just it is really a pleasure to listen to it. It's extremely analytical, extremely detailed. It goes and fetches everything that you really would what would be expecting, especially at this price range. I think it actually exceeds those expectations, and it's been so well done, this balance, that there's again no sibilance that's noticeable, at least. The presence is perfect. The timbre, everything is very nicely done. I mean, I have to admit that I wasn't expecting this kind of quality, and the moment I put them on, I was like, wow, these sound good. And like I mentioned, if anything, maybe on some songs the bass being too fast and too dry can take away a little bit of that warmth that you sometimes require, and give the mids that extra lushness that you would like. But it's so seldom that I can't really fault anything. Soundstage on them is adequate. I think it follows the balance that they was able to attain in with regards to the frequency response. They've managed to keep that balance in terms of the soundstage. It's got decent width and depth, although the overall sensation that you get is that the stage is oval and not round. I don't know if that comes across in the best possible way, but yeah, basically that's it. So, to recap, detail monsters. These things are detail monsters, very analytical. It will pick, and I mean, it kind of reminds me of the HC Sound's ability to be very analytical, very detailed, and takes it up a notch, and takes it up a really good notch. But without running the risk of being sibilant or harsh or any of that. And that whole transition from mid highs to highs is very well done. There's a very nice synergy there. And again, the transition from the bass to the mids, very nicely done as well. So overall, a very, very nice surprise. What did I compare it with? I compared it to two other 1+1 items, or IEMs rather, sorry, the TA Audio L2s and oldies but goldies, the Shure Form 1.1. In terms of construction, the L2s are exquisite, perhaps a little bit more sub-bass than the MS2s. Timbre and tonality on here is probably its strongest points, but then the highs being a little bit more laid back, it loses out that detail, that sparkle that you get in the MS2s. So overall, I would prefer the MS2s. The Shosies, one quick thing with regards to the bass, being a brilliant driver, it's got a nice quick bass. But I still feel that the bass on the MS2s is quicker. It's only the sub-bass quantity here that is better. As for the Shosies, again, another brilliant driver. Bass is, for me, amazing. Really, I mean, I think it's kind of got the sub-bass that you have on the L2s with the quickness of the MS2s. So the bass is superior to either one of these two. The mids are where it kind of is a little bit laid back, and they've kind of tried to compensate that with them kind of making the highs a little bit more sparkly. But that's extra attempt, or that attempt to do it was not probably the best. So there is some sibilance around 7.5, 8K. There is some sibilance which can be annoying. That's why I'm using foam tips on them. And with foam tips, these things are perfect. Again, not the same kind of detail capabilities of the MS2s, not the same kind of mids of the MS2s, although tonally they are also, and timbre wise, they're also very correct. So out of the three, I think, in my opinion, MS2s are the winner. Definitely good, fast, quick, fun bass, really nice. Could have a little bit more sub bass like the LR2s, could have a little bit more sub bass like the Shosies, but it makes up for that with amazing mids and perfect highs. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed my little take on the Hidizs MS2. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.